Hey guys.
Hey.
Told you we were doing the intro and you didn't know what it was about.
I feel like you're up to something.
That always worries me too.
Yeah, I am. Before I do that, I thought it was like kind of cold in here, so I like to wear this jacket, but it's kind of hot.
Are you shitting me?
Let's move that so everyone on screen can get a good look.
Oh my God. Hang on.
Yep, that's our newest shirt.
What does this say?
Father's Day. PTTF Father's Day 2024.
God, crystal clear image.
I'm blown away at the quality.
I'm so happy for that.
And I happen to know this website has saved this logo design. So if we want to put out some orders for our listeners, we can do that.
Oh my God.
Do we need to like blur out the zioncases.com thing, or
too late now?
People just need to head over to that website and enter code.
I think they just need to tell us. I need to order it for them. Sadly, currently.
PACK.
Yeah, get at us on our Instagram if you're interested. Shirts they're not cheap. They're about $30, but if we get
worth it.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
It's quality, man.
Thank you for not using Comic Sans on that, Ricky.
I thought about it. It let me choose, and I thought hard about it. Decided against it.
Actually, no. You need to go get one. That's in Comic Sans.
So, I think we're going to be placing some more orders for this.
Where do you think we're going? I mean, the exit's like right there.
You're going off to be a father's son. Have your life together.
Oh my!
You're telling him probably right now that you are his father. I don't know how to tell you this, son.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I just thought,
Wow.
Well done.
All right, show's over.
Right now it's a 101.
Adam. Oh, it's a 101. Boys and girls at home and kids in the gallery, let's go.
Hello, Pack-a-Maniacs, and welcome to another episode of Pack to the Future. I'm your host, Ricky, a.k.a. Mr. eBay. And I am joined by my co-host and partner in crime, Dr. Chad.
Someone call for a doctor?
How you doing, Doc?
How the hell do you think I'm doing?
And he is not the father of Aiden, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Dr. Tim.
Here we go, baby. Prepare to be underwhelmed. Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got a good show lined up for you guys tonight. This shirt is just the start. Later in the show, we're going to be joined by the Big Torte himself, Kansas City Dan.
Yes, extorted me today.
Oh, no! Can't wait to hear about this when we have him live. We've also got Papa eBay joining us. They're going to break down their trade, and I would be nervous if I was Dan, the BT, because Papa eBay was on the phone with me testing his mic and stuff, making sure it would work with our system.
Whoa!
And said, "Okay, I got to go. I'm doing show prep." And then he said, he's a Kansas City Royals fan, right? And I said, yes. And he said, we'll find out tonight.
Wow.
So that's going to be fun. But before we get into it with Papa eBay and the BT, Chad, do you have any updates for the show?
Yeah, let's give some more reminders. People over on iTunes and Spotify, please make sure that you are listening on our new feed, Pack to the Future Podcast Season 3. Tim drew that lovely little 3 and made it into a heart on the show photo. So that's how you know that's us. Make sure to follow us there.
Yes.
You can reach us. People are doing a good job with engagement. Pack to the Future Podcast on Instagram, of course, on YouTube, where we live stream these things. You can see this lovely
101. It could be 202 if you wanted to place an order.
Lovely something that Ricky has made over on the YouTubes at Pack to the Future Podcast.
Yeah.
And if you got anything to email us, Pack to the Future Podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with PTTF Podcast at gmail.com, which ruined season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, I to your point, I feel like, at least compared to season 1, I won't compare to season 2, but compared to season 1, I feel like the engagement's off the rails better. We're getting it during our live shows, a lot of correspondence, and the Instagram's going strong, as well as the Gmail.
Interestingly, someone here's making a comment, my 3 cards on the YouTube. Doesn't YouTube frown upon showing live TV on your channel? Oh, we don't care. We're not actually here to grow. We are just here for entertainment.
Yeah, I don't think YouTube's going to look at that and say that little thumbnail in the top left corner of Tim's screen is enough to catch.
You never know, man. They know what they're doing. We do have 2 new iTunes reviews here. Broadway AI. I think this is the 3rd time from Broadway AI.
Is that allowed?
I don't know, but it keeps popping up with a new comment over on iTunes. This is the most entertaining, honest, and genuine sports card hobby content on the internet.
Wow.
You're guaranteed many laughs, a few moments of knowledge. It's generous. And at least one, they are idiots, but all for good reasons. Moment every week.
Accurate.
Yeah, that is accurate. It's a must listen. They also go above and beyond to engage the listeners, which I'm sure is a blessing and a curse. And then it goes on, but gets cut off. And we got one more here.
Yeah.
From Xbara. So glad to have you all back. I was convinced when Tim and Chad took a break last year, I'd never hear from them again. Tim and I had a lot of heart-to-hearts with the baseball bat in his knee. But not only are Tim and Chad back, they've brought Mr. eBay with them.
That's
Welcome back, Ricky. You guys are great entertainment during jogs, long drives, mowing the lawn, showering. You get the picture. I'm there with him during his runs. Yeah. Tim's definitely the one who's there with him during his showers.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. This bell? Oh my God, what have I done? He's so appreciative that he only had to log on to his Apple device to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Hope this helps others find this hidden gem.
So nice reviews. You mentioned it to Tim and I. We talked about it prior to today's show of just how grateful we are for such kind and genuine reviews.
$25 gift cards to those 2 people. You got 1 week. Email us and I'll send you over an eBay gift card. Thanks for doing it. You can leave those. We have people asking where you can do that. Go on to iTunes, click on the show, scroll down to the very bottom. You can leave your 5-star rating and then write a review.
Yes, please do that. It's free, takes minimal time. But before we hop into that, Tim, speaking of our heavy engagement, Tim was bitching all day today heading into this show.
Yeah,
nothing's good enough ever. So we have some accommodations for you, Tim. Maybe it'll make this show bearable.
First of all,
what are you talking about?
I was at the grocery store, and for our treat of the week, I could not think of anything more appropriate than Hello Panda chocolates.
Yes. Now, are we getting a little more panda bearable here for you?
Oh, no, they're dead.
What?
Are you talking about the NFTs?
Yeah, no.
I think he just admitted that that's gone.
Yeah.
And because you kept bitching that you would have your back to the game you placed all your bets on.
Mm-hmm. Here you go, you whiny little bastard.
Second accommodation.
Here's a mirror. Watch the game.
Yes. Thank you. That's a true friendship right there.
There you go.
We look out for you.
We got you.
Oh, good. They're only losing by 28 now. Yep. 38?
At 29.
Oh, wow.
Last 2 things for me before we move on. Don't forget to go to zioncases.com, promo code PACK for 10% off your order.
Yeah.
And then one other company that actually I have 2 other things. One other thing that our affiliate link just ended at the end of May is from Vaulted. You guys got me the case.
Yeah.
I bought the 3x3 wall mount.
Ooh,
this thing is super lightweight. Like, feel how light that is.
That's sexy.
You can pop your PSA and BGS slabs right in there. They pop right out.
Yeah.
SGC does not fit. I was going to put all my Disney cards and hang it right here.
That would be cool.
And then Sarah reminded me that I'm a complete dumbass and can't hang things on this wall because it goes through the whole thing, and we got in a big fight about it. But this looks lovely. Check this out.
That's
all my Broncos guys.
And
I'm going to hang this out of my office.
Clip things are for.
It feels lighter than that stack of cards on its own.
It really does,
if possible. Yeah, I'm like blown away at how light this thing is.
So what people have done, they get 4 of
quality
these, and they put them like in a big rectangle on their wall. And I think I'm going to do that upstairs.
Hell yes.
I wish that we still had a promo code to give you guys. We don't. So I just paid full price. It was $50. We don't have any affiliate with them anymore, but I thought this thing was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
So cool.
Lastly, guys, the basketball card fanatic thing that I've mentioned a couple of times. You can go check this out. Check out this cover this week or for this month. This one took a little while. Wow. Panini made this front cover design specifically for the magazine. What? It's of Caitlin Clark. Yeah, seriously. Adam got it hooked up through Panini.
Wow.
Great articles written by you, the listeners. If you have a basketball card article that you think is worth writing, email us, bcfmag.com. Nope. Go to bcfmag.com. And then there's probably a Gmail associated with it. I can't even remember. Ours can't be expected to remember that. But Adam's on social media with you. You can go find him.
Oh yeah, easy.
All right, I'm done.
What do you think of that Caitlin Clark nonsense lately?
Well, God, apparently I'm in the minority here. I put
yeah.
it in our group chat and everyone's like, no, you're an idiot. I think the WNBA is a far different league than what I'm used to.
Mhm.
It seems very much like an 80s NBA.
Yeah.
In the terms of hard fouls. However, the thing that I'm mad about with this, her teammates don't seem to give two shits.
Yeah.
They just let her get the hell beat out of her.
Right.
No standing up for it. You guys, if we were on a 3-on-3, of course I'd be the littlest guy in the league. I guess, Tim, I might be taller than you, but if one of these guys like threw you around how Caitlin Clark's getting thrown down, I'm going to jail.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
I'm bringing out a steel chair, and her teammates don't seem to care.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah, it's kind of and here's what's interesting for me, and I'm sure this has been said elsewhere, and I'm not even addressing this as a female male thing. This is just a don't be an idiot thing.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, and I don't know that Caitlin Clark deserves to be the face of the league like she's been lately, but but she's excited fans, and fans are watching more than ever. I have no doubt Asia Wilson should be the fan, the face of the WNBA over Caitlin Clark. Asia Wilson has established herself as a great in the league for
quite
many
talented.
years.
Yep.
But I'm blown away at the stupidity of her teammates and competitors. There was a lot of talk of like, would you ever see this in the NBA? No, you wouldn't, or yes, you would. There's a lot of debate over it. For whatever reason, Caitlin Clark is bringing eyes to this product. She's improving the product for all of you. It's largely due to her that these chartered flights are happening. You're seeing higher viewership than you've ever seen before. And with that will come more sponsorship money, TV money deals. This is a good thing.
Yeah.
So you can play her hard and physical. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if she gets taken down and you're a teammate, there's no room to be jealous here. And I believe it is absolute jealousy. And again, not a woman thing, but you have to remember that the WNBA, these guys are making they're borderline having to have a second job.
Yeah.
When Brittany Griner got busted in Russia, they're going to Russia because Russia's actually paying them. So they need to supplement their WNBA contracts with overseas contracts in kind of some scary countries. I don't understand it. And I don't understand all the bitching of, hey, well, I'm the reason that the WNBA is popular too, not just Caitlin Clark. People are going to give you credit or not. You can't control that. And so by coming out and complaining about it, it just makes you look like a whiny child who does not see the bigger picture that life will be getting better because of this.
Yeah.
Embrace it. Play her hard, and her teammates should be protecting her. I completely agree with you.
People are asking, that was well said, honestly. And it kind of blows my mind that people argued against this in our chat. It really does. I don't think I know I didn't make the same point that you did. Mm-hmm. Mine was just more like, hey, they're pushing her around. Why are they doing this?
Yeah.
But it still just blew my mind that there was pushback on that.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it. People are asking now with Caitlin Clark specifically about her rookie cards. So this is very interesting where we're at with her, right? She is not performing well.
No.
And I will not tell you that I've watched a full WNBA game this year. I have not. But simply scrolling through, seeing things on Instagram and where they're ranking people and stats, like she's not playing super great.
Right.
Where do you think they'll stack up with the other great rookies in the history of the hobby? Asks Selly.
Ooh. I think right now, I think that they might be comparable. I think in a year or two, I question whether they still will be as comparable versus her. I think you're going to be looking to compare her more to other WNBA athletes rather than male professional athletes. I could be wrong about that. I hope I am. And I'll tell you, I feel like the sport is growing. It's about to just hit its stride here. And it's been happening for a few years. I noticed this. My family has tickets to every University of Utah event possible. My dad's just obsessed. And I've gone to a couple of women's games with him last year and this year. And it's not women's basketball that I remember. And I don't mean this to offend anyone, but when I used to go back in the day, I felt like you'd watch these women shoot 3-pointers and they looked like 12-year-old kids, the way they had to heave it up. The strength just wasn't there. That's not what it is anymore. They're popping shots. They're popping deep shots. They're hitting them. This game has evolved and it is incredibly exciting.
What do you think about the comparison for other rookie cards in the hobby?
Yeah.
Tim to Zion. I mean, the hype is probably comparable, right, to Zion coming out. Tim, I love it when you make predictions, particularly when you're wrong, because I never forget them. Those damn pandas. What do you think? So Little John's asking, overhyped like Zion? We didn't intend to talk about Caitlin Clark, and this is just really interesting that the conversation that's popping up here.
Yeah.
I think she was properly hyped. She just hasn't met expectations. You know, I mean, I think she's getting a wake-up call that, you know, the WNBA is legitimately more talented than most of her college cohorts.
That's true.
The end.
I like it.
Yeah, and the only reason I don't think we see as much Caitlin Clark hype as Zion is she was kind of hurt because of their calendaring, right? Like they go straight from college ball to the draft to playing within 2 months.
It felt like it was way quick. Yeah.
Whereas Zion gets out of college, everyone's freaking out, and then you have the draft in June, and then you have summer league and all this stuff for us to just go nuts to watch every second. Like, is he really the greatest or not? I just think she hasn't had as much time for the hype, but I feel like the hype's just as intense.
It is. Her Bowman's first, the Superfractor auto? I mean, that card sold for really a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah, it did. It really did. And there's people who argue that maybe right now her college cards will be worth more than her early WNBA cards.
Can you imagine?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just like our boy Cam Rising, future Heisman hopeful. Tim, what were those odds on Cam Rising winning the Heisman?
Plus 3,100. So yeah, 31 to 1.
Ricky, you want to go in on a little something? You want to do like $50 each?
Yeah.
Cam Rising win the Heisman.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
I like it.
Let's do it. Timmy. And this is what our fans come for, to hear me read names.
That's what I'm here for. And hell, I even live here.
San Diego Padres infielder Tucupita Marcano.
Yes.
Has been permanently banned from the MLB for betting on games involving his own team. He's the first player to be permanently banned from betting on baseball since Pete Rose. This guy bet on 25 Pittsburgh Pirates games while he was assigned to the team. But he was assigned to the injured list during all of them, and he lost all of the bets. He gambled more than $150,000. By the way, he signed a 1-year contract for $746,000. So a third of that.
No, it's actually a half of his taxes.
Oh
gosh.
Think about that.
Think about that
on baseball, and he won just 4.3% of the 231 MLB bets he placed.
That can't be possible. I'm sorry. I saw that stat and I was like, you have to actively suck.
How
at
do
betting.
they know that?
You're right.
Like, did his bookie rat him out, or
no? You're right. This is Tim.
Those are Tim's stats.
No, here are the stats though. We can talk about it. The total amount bet on baseball, $150K. Did you notice Tim just loaded up another panda and hid it under the table? It's just ready.
I'd be careful with those.
Total amount bet on MLB specifically, 87,319. Average bet, 378. Numbers of MLB bets, 231. Bets on Pirates game, 25. MLB bets won, 4.3%.
Tim, you're getting cooked in this chat right now.
No, we'll get to Tim's bets in a second. What do you guys think of this? Anything other than just interesting?
I had no idea who this guy was.
I didn't
he started
either.
Popping up in the feeds. I was like, really? They're going to make an example out of this guy?
Well, maybe he's the perfect one, right? It's not Shohei. You definitely don't want to make an example out of Shohei if you can help it. Yeah. Which, by the way, really interesting how quickly his guy pled guilty. He just pled guilty to the charges and is facing 30 plus years in prison.
See ya.
It's kind of amazing to me that like our most, and I won't get on this topic too long, but our most like violent offenders tend to get like 7 to 10 years. But if you steal money, man, you're going away for decades.
Let's let something sink in here. You skipped right over it. Illegal gambling is leading this man to face 30 years in prison.
Yeah. In a state where it's not allowed.
Just let it.
Let's
see if it gets in there.
That's why, hypothetically, if gambling were allowed in Utah, I would be betting.
What?
But it's not, so he won't.
So going back to your question, it really makes me wonder how they got the percentage. Like, how do they know that?
They must have seen his whole transcript, from his betting log or whatever.
Yeah, that seems
like, does someone keep that? I mean, unless maybe he's doing it on like FanDuel or something.
No, you could go through like every single week of my betting history for like however long they decide to keep that data.
We can?
Yeah.
Well, if you're an investigator and gain access to the account, you
subpoena that shit.
I have.
You have
a new job, a new career path.
You do have a friend who knows how to write a subpoena. So, yeah, I thought that was wild too. I think it's a good lesson. I mean, I don't know if it's even true or not, but regardless, I think it's a good lesson.
About what?
Well, the dangers of betting and just how bad bets can be.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has insider knowledge of his team and he still can't win.
Yeah,
could have just flipped a coin.
That's the miracle, is that he won none of the Pirates bets.
Well, to your point, and we'll get into Tim's bad bets in a minute, but to your point, like, I kind of think sports need to recalibrate how they deal with gambling. I know the baseball's the most severe with it. They take it the most serious. But I'm going to say something wild. If you bet on your team and you're playing for them to win, I don't know that I have a problem with that.
That should be more motivation, right?
Right. And betting is so ingrained in our sports culture nowadays, particularly if it's other sports or even other MLB teams. I understand maybe you can get some inside information. I just don't think that inside information's flying around as freely as we might worry about. And I think that these teams need to come around and update their betting policies. I mean, you already see it with the MLBs moving a team to Vegas. When the NFL came to Vegas, the NHL came to Vegas. It was a huge topic, and it didn't really seem to blow up the way people thought it would. I think maybe we need to embrace this a little bit, or I'm even fine if you X the whole sport that they're playing while they're playing, but like they should be able to bet on anything else.
Yeah, especially if it's not baseball, right? Or their given sport. Like, who cares? Let them live a little bit.
Or if they own it, if they make public, I'm betting on my team to win today.
Maybe they're just not allowed to bet against their team, because that'd be a conflict of interest.
Oh, right? Yeah, that would be my rule. You can't have them betting against the team, because then they can alter it, right?
Yeah, in key situations, even some Yahoo like this guy, would potentially come up in like a bases loaded situation or something, right? So,
what if the MLB created their own sports book?
Awesome.
That would be incredible.
Be a lot of money behind it.
Yeah, you'd be servicing the most wealthy bettors on the planet.
It would never happen, though. I mean, baseball's so stupid. You get all these old timers. You can't change the game. You can't even put in a pitch clock. So I want the game to be 5 flipping hours every night, because I don't have shit better to do with my life than watch this.
Then fill out my stat book while I watch.
Yeah, seriously. It's like no one cares.
No, I agree. Baseball's taking it way too serious. It shocked me since Pete Rose. We always grew up knowing Pete Rose, forever banned. And it always sat weird with me because he always bet on him to win. But whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of not rich bettors, Timmy.
Yes.
This Dallas game is an 8-point game right now.
I know. They went from 21 down to...
Look at Tim's eye. He's eyeing up in that mirror.
I may have bought the Mavs to plus 8.5. So.
When?
Before the game.
I don't see plus 8.5 on
during
this list.
halftime.
No, they were like plus 6.5.
So because when we throw this to Tim about your bets, you kind of just get lost in what the bets are.
Fine.
Yeah, no one.
If you're okay, I'm going to read them off.
Yeah, go for it.
So you have a 7-leg parlay going tonight.
Player props. Yep.
Player props. Al Horford will need to have at least 7 points against Dallas.
I think he had like 6 at halftime or something.
I'll see if I can pull up some stats as you go through.
Yeah, Daniel Gafford.
Oh, no, it was Gafford. Yeah.
Will have at least 7 points against Boston.
Okay, so Gafford needs 7. Who was the first one?
And Horford needs 7.
Okay.
And we'll give you a second to catch up.
Appreciate
now,
it.
Can I share the odds?
Yeah.
Can I share the amount you wagered?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hypothetically.
Gafford
has 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Horford has 5.
Okay. Not dead. One field goal each.
Derek Lively will have at least 7 points.
No, that's dead. I think that's
Man, I think they just are going to keep leaking out of Tim as we go throughout the show.
Trying for what we call a little middle, a little best of both worlds sandwich.
Hedging those bets.
Yeah. I figured this would be a close game. It was pretty dicey at halftime. Still probably will be.
Yeah, probably.
We'll see.
Thank you guys for talking. I completely lost internet. We're back now.
No, you're great.
Internet or
I'm
interest?
glad we're back.
Mhm.
Yep.
Chad, this week you have been looking at buying season tickets to Utah's new NHL hockey team.
Correct.
Mhm.
And you were debating quite a bit. Well, you weren't the only one. It was in articles. It was our friend groups. I think it shocked everyone how much season ticket prices were. They were not cheap.
No.
And one of our friends mentioned that, like, it's kind of the fascination about hockey is that even the terrible teams sell out and sell at very expensive prices. And I've actually had that experience. When I was in law school, I went up for an Anaheim Ducks game. Didn't even really want to go. Was kind of strong-armed into it. And we were like, where our season tickets were for the Jazz, upper bowl in the back.
Oh yeah.
And it was still a few $100. It was not cheap. So, but when you were looking at it, I know that there's been also a huge demand, and I know that you were kind of debating, like, should you be behind the goal to be in the lower bowl, or should you go upper bowl on the side? And I had a question I wanted to ask you, but I wanted to ask you on the show.
Okay.
Did you ever think about, and you may have, based on what I think you were leaning towards going with, but did you ever give thought to, because I'm finding myself giving thought to this a lot. I'm no longer willing to buy season tickets to anything. However, I will take the money I would spend on that season ticket and buy 2 or 3 games worth of sick tickets.
So quality over quantity.
Right. Did you give any thought to that?
A little bit. I think with it being the first year and seeing what the demand has been, there's a little bit of FOMO that's built into that.
Sure.
Right. And I think that with the season tickets, they give you all sorts of different options, full season, half season, but they also, even if you do the half season, you can still guarantee that you're there for the first game.
Oh, really?
And I think the first game would be cool. The home opener. Like, the
Oh,
energy in
yeah.
there's got to be pretty spectacular, whether or not they win or lose.
100%.
So I think that would be pretty cool. I don't think it's realistic for me to attend 40 plus hockey games a year.
That's the other thought I had, is like, and again, I'm thinking more for me. So I'm not trying to, like, put words in your mouth, but I'm like, I'm too busy. I'm too busy to go to that many games of anything.
There's also a high likelihood that if the team is at all relevant and the hype continues, and if the Jazz continue to just be awful, that the games that I don't go to, that I sell, could pay for the games that I go to.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I could see that being
And
the
so
case.
that has certainly played a role in my decision. It's not the reason for getting the tickets, but it certainly made me think about it, because it's not just that I'm going to eat that entire cost.
Yeah.
Some of that I'm going to be able to recoup.
Right. So yesterday, they had the open house, and
Yeah, so they had an open house the last 2 days, and I was a little bit confused on the way they sent it out. They say, like, hey, come check out the open house. You can see what your view from whatever seat section would look like. But then starting tomorrow, they will send us an email in the order that we put down our season ticket deposit to see whether or not we want to buy the seats.
Okay.
And I think that I confused the two a little bit. I think that I read that you had to, or that you could be there in person to buy your seats. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. So
did you go look at seats?
Anyway, I did not go look at seats today. I just got caught up with work and like it's my wife and I's wedding anniversary today. So like I decided, hey, I probably shouldn't be down at the Delta Center. Like maybe I should be here. So yeah, I did not go check them out, but tomorrow, hopefully I'll find out when my time is that I can choose seats or not.
Today is your anniversary?
Yeah.
I thought it was coming up. And he's downstairs in his basement recording a show with 2 idiots.
Dedicated to the guys.
Oh, man, you are in. You are committed. We love you.
Mrs. Doc.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Oh, she's probably happy I'm not up there bugging her.
So tomorrow is the day you buy the tickets?
Well, that's the thing. They don't tell us. They say in the order of which you put down your deposit, you'll be contacted with a time slot to be able to potentially buy them or not.
Got it.
And so it's tricky, and it's really made my decision difficult for anyone out there who's gone through this process. Like, you can relate to this. For anyone who hasn't, I apologize, and you just won't care. but I'll make it quick. You can buy the full season. You can buy the half season. You can buy premier seats. You can buy non-premier seats. The non-premier seats, you get the less desired games. The premier seats, even if you do half season, you still get the opener, and I assume Bedard, you can go see him, and probably the Stanley Cup champion, whoever wins that, then you get those seats too. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm honestly leaning, and I want to bounce this off you guys a little bit.
Yeah.
To getting, I still want good seats. If I'm going to have season tickets, I have lived through years of having shit season tickets.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a good seat, but I also don't want to spend all of my travel money, all my ghost hunting money, all my card money.
Yeah.
On an NHL team when I've never followed an NHL team for a whole year.
Yeah. And I will tell you, hockey is absolutely an in-person sport. Mm-hmm. The people watching the action, like, it translates so much better than on TV. So I do think you will quite enjoy it. We had a great time, the three of us, when we went. And so you're debating behind the net?
Behind the net lower bowl. And then Boston Steve actually said that upper bowl center ice is a pretty good seat. And the prices are comparable.
I kind of like that idea. To me, hockey seems like a sport more similar to football than basketball, meaning there is such a thing as being too low, I think. Mm-hmm. You want the eagle eye view so you can follow the puck and all the action, right? When Boston Steve threw that out, I think center ice upper bowl is the way to go.
I think so too. And for half a season, financially, I can do that. My sister backed out when she saw the ticket price.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be buying 2, not 1. And so that's played a little bit of a role as well. So I think that's what I'm going to lean for. If they have it available for the preferred seats, half season, center ice, then I'll do it. Because occasionally Sarah will go.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Tim, and this is a good thing to transition to, I've been to a hockey game with Tim. Mm-hmm. Never seen the guy more entertaining in my entire life. Tim, you had a great time when you were there. Ricky, I've been to an NHL game with you. You had a great time as well. So taking you guys to games occasionally would be great. Now, unfortunately, I only have 2 seats instead of 3.
That's okay. We would be grateful to be included anytime. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the way you go. And I think the Delta Center, honestly, is not built for ice hockey. It actually was built because the Salt Palace was built for ice hockey and was such a terrible basketball arena that they decided to build the Delta Center to be a basketball dedicated arena.
Yeah.
Which is why if you're upper level behind the net, you actually have part of the ice obstructed from your view.
I see.
And so I do believe they're going to go. I think they're going to rush to get a more hockey appropriate stadium sooner than later. So honestly, it may even be that like you're just doing it to see if you like the games, and then when that new arena opens up, maybe you make a jump up closer to the action if you feel appropriate.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea there too, because you probably get precedence, being an existing owner.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and that's played a role in it too. And one thing I don't know, and I am going to ask, and then we can move on to another subject.
No, you're fine.
If I get the season tickets, I want a hard copy mailed to me, and I'm grading the tickets, especially the initial one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Do you think PSA will grade it? You know how like they grade the ticket and they'll like put who played, and then they'll give you like one line of significance.
Yeah,
LeBron's first game.
Yeah, first Utah game.
But do you think they can get it in there so it says Chad's first hockey game?
Chad does hockey.
Yeah. Chad's first hockey game. Chad's
I think so.
Second hockey game.
You know what? Screw you guys. I'm not taking you guys. I'm taking my guy Aiden.
Well, yeah, I would expect.
And we can put the PSA slab to say Father's Day 2024.
I would expect nothing less from an engaged father.
I hate you guys.
Speaking of engaged fathers.
That was a terrible transition.
Well, I was going to go the other route.
I was wondering how he was going to do it, but he did it.
Tim, what would you give for an engaged father?
What? Oh my God. What?
Nothing.
You better explain what the hell you just said, and you better think of something real quick.
Well, Tim has talked to us. I won't get into the details about maybe his rough upbringing a little. And so I said, hey,
throw one of those pandas at him. Throw the whole damn bag.
I've been just throwing darts at Tim all the time.
That was a one-time thing. Sorry. I hit him like square in the nose.
You did.
If I do it again, I'm probably going to take his eye out.
Hey, that could be
I know an urgent care doc who's here.
We're live.
Yeah, God. As long as we get on camera, just make sure you zoom in.
We get 1 million views. Speaking of engaged fathers, we are now joined by not one, but two special guests. I bring to you the BT,
Woohoo.
Kansas City Dan.
He's not on.
Oh,
we lost him.
no.
He was on earlier. He'll jump on.
He'll jump
I'm
on
sure.
a second.
But
While
we
we're waiting for him, we got Papa eBay. Yeah.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Hey.
Doing well, Pops. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just got back. Actually, it must have been a month ago that I was here before because I just got home from another gourmet guy's dinner.
He did.
Yeah.
Where did you go this time?
We went to Black Sheep
Okay.
Bar and Grill up on Foothill Village. It was
Okay.
really good.
What did you get?
Blue cheese bacon cheeseburger.
Something Ricky would never.
Half of Ricky's favorite.
Accurate. And he drenches it in blue cheese.
Oh.
Like
Hey,
you've never
I
seen.
want to know though,
Hard
Ricky told me earlier about this shirt that he's got on. I thought he was giving it to you.
No.
Chad.
Hell no.
Oh.
Hey, he's giving me the business.
I'm wearing it.
That's about
I
it.
thought the whole idea was that it was a gift for him, was my understanding.
This is a
These nuts.
That's what
Got
Ricky's
him.
giving me.
yeah.
Got it.
This is a quality shirt. You think I'm going to share it with anyone? No.
Never washing it again either.
All right.
Oh.
I've also got to state that the Papa eBay name is really, I'm doing that at Mr. eBay's request. I actually thought eBay went away when my AOL account went away back in the day. But evidently it's still going strong.
Yeah, strong as ever. It's how people know us, Pops.
So is Torte Dan on?
No,
we're
we're still
waiting
waiting
on
for
him.
him.
Is he in
Big
the
Torque,
chat?
come on in. No, he was on the chat or in the chat earlier, but we're still waiting for him to jump on.
BT, hop on.
Okay, well, while we're waiting for him,
Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions that I'd like to ask you three about.
Okay.
Are there any rip cards that you would get that you would not rip?
Yes, I own 3 of them. I own at least 3. I might own 5.
What does it take to be a unripped rip card?
You buy the card and don't rip it. And we got the BT, Kansas City Dan.
Yes.
Hey, boys.
Welcome to the show, Dan.
Howdy, boys.
All right. So the reason I have called you guys here together today is Papa eBay wants to do a post-mortem on your trade.
I do. I don't know how much anybody else knows of what Torte Dan and I traded. But I gave Torte Dan a Drew Waters with a Bobby Witt Jr. inside the rip card.
You did.
Now, and it wasn't a George Brett autographed rookie with pine tar on it or anything. It was Bobby Witt and a Drew Waters. I just feel like I stole from him. I feel guilty and bad because what Torte Dan gave me was a Ricky. I got 3 Ricky Green Detroit Tigers card. In case you don't know who Ricky Green, he was only like
Riley Green.
draft pick.
Riley Green.
What did I say? Ricky? Oh,
Yeah.
that's the old fastest of them all, Ricky Green. Yeah, Riley. Sorry.
You're okay.
Riley Green, who was the 5th overall pick back in 2019, who's just going to be a superstar. So not only did I get those 3 cards, more importantly, I got a chocolate raspberry Napoleon. Torte.
Napoleon is right.
Okay, that was absolutely delicious. I would have traded both cards and thrown in $50 just for the Torte. And I got the Torte plus those 3 cards. I can tell you when the Torte first came, well, unfortunately for me, he shipped it to Ricky's house. And so there was only half of it by the time I got it. And I got it, and I was, I wasn't familiar with it, and so I was a little leery. And my wife and I each took a little taste of it and said, "Wow, that is delicious." We ended up throwing it in the freezer. I can't remember. We got it a couple of weeks before Memorial Day. We were going to have the family all over for Memorial Day, so we threw it in the freezer, thawed it out on Memorial Day, and there was not one morsel left at the end of our Memorial Day barbecue. A real shout out to the Lithuanian Bakery in Omaha, Nebraska.
Woo.
It was fantastic, and I recommend that everybody put in an order. And as a matter of fact, I mentioned that I was at Gourmet Guys. Well, the Gourmet Gals are at my house as we speak. And I was telling them about getting on the show and about how I had stole like Maury Wills or Ricky Henderson from Torte Dan. In fact, Torte Dan, do you know, speaking of stealing, who the top base stealing player was of Kansas City of all time?
All time, either Willie Wilson or Amos Otis.
Oh, very good. I'm impressed. It's Willie Wilson, actually. Willie Wilson. So I was telling them about how I felt like I had stole from Torte Dan and describing the torte and how delicious. And I planned that they wanted me to order one for them. So I planned to put in I'm telling you, it was mouth-watering delicious.
Let me help out a little bit by pulling the curtain back behind the eBay household, the eBay family. Papa eBay is not a big dessert fan. I very rarely watch him eat dessert. When we have cake and ice cream, he might take a little ice cream, maybe a bite or two out of the cake. He just doesn't want any part of it. He's a savory guy. When it's Thanksgiving, he'll have some pie, but it's minimal. So and he also is not, my stepmom is the huge fan of chocolate, but my dad is not a huge chocolate guy overall. So when we showed up to this party and I asked him, I said, "Hey, did you try the torte?" And he with the same enthusiasm said, "Oh my God, yes, it is so good." And I did not expect that reaction from him, to be honest. Maybe my stepmom, but not him. And so throughout the day, I kept asking him, "Okay, tell me seriously, do you really like it?"
Yeah.
"Oh my God, it's the best thing I've ever had." I've never heard him compliment a food item like this. So I thought he was messing with me. My brother ate 5 slices alone. My dad, I saw, had at least 2. This torte did fly off the shelf at our party. It was gobbled up. So much fast, in fact, that I wasn't even able to get a slice.
Other than the half that you had before it got delivered to my house. Other than that.
And then we're going to do some stat corrections. I did not eat half the torte. And Torte Dan is his new short name.
TD?
TD.
Yeah.
I like it.
I prefer that over Big Torte.
Fair. I mean it like the Big Hurt, though. I mean it to be badass.
Yeah.
I'm not badass.
You are. Well,
anyway, thank you, Torte Dan. Like I say, I feel guilty that I stole from you, just like Ricky Henderson used to steal bases, but it was a heck of a deal, and I appreciate it.
Well, if you still feel guilty enough to send me $50, I ain't going to turn it down.
There he is.
We got his address for you, Dad.
I gave Mr. eBay that $50. So.
Well, the way I've treated Dan this
see it in December then.
Exactly. You can kiss that 50 goodbye.
Hey,
But Dan,
speaking of stealing,
Yeah.
Speaking of stealing, are there any cards that you guys have collected or know of that have a photo including a sliding glove in them? And I want to know, how many bases do you think Ricky Henderson would have stole if they would have had sliding gloves back in his day, where you can reach out an extra 14 inches and touch the base instead of being, 90 feet. It's only 89 feet.
He's right. And they'll put these gloves in their back pocket and it goes up to their like shoulder blades.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I'm just going to read this for how many thoughts that I had as he was saying that, of how many jokes I could have had with that. So I'll just get that.
I think we got to throw this question to Dan. Dan's our resident baseball card expert. Have you seen anything with those gloves?
I'd probably have, like a relic?
Yeah.
I'll bet you Panini's got one or two of them out there. I've not ever actually looked for them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. They do everything. They really like using relics. So, and weird ones.
And Tim had a while ago, maybe you still have it, a Frank Thomas cleat.
That was Louis Robert.
Mm-hmm. Cleat, though. So they will put the crazy stuff in there.
But I take that to be like Papa eBay asking if there's an image, of a player, right?
That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Those are so ubiquitous now. They're out there. I could probably go digging and find a Whit Merrifield card with one, but I don't want to.
Well said. Well said.
And I respect Dan's hustle for that.
Okay, well, now that I have my private audience with the baseball card expert, Torte Dan, I had another question for you. Is a Ty Cobb card of any type worth more or less now that he's not the all-time batting champion? Does that drive it up, down, or no change?
I don't think there'll be any change. I don't foresee there being any change because there are very few Josh Gibson cards out there.
Touche.
And any at all. Like modern reproductions and things like that.
Right. And Ty Cobb's still the first ever inductee into the Hall of Fame for a number of reasons.
Those prices won't change. No.
And he's been dead for so long. It's not like they're making new ones.
Well,
new cards, not new
Ty Cobbs.
Right. Ooh,
look
chat,
at
Tim.
Wait a second. What's going on?
We got some dessert delivery, it looks like.
That's why she's
more accommodations for Tim.
Yeah, I can't throw a cookie at you.
More sweet treats.
Tort's coming tomorrow, Chad. Not today. That's really weird.
Sweet.
That's really weird.
Can you cut him up?
So, Dan, I know that we're trying to get the word out for your site's website where people can go. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but could you list off your website verbally?
Sure. The best place to go get our stuff online would be to go to goldbelly.com and then just search Lithuanian Bakery in the search bar. That's the best and easiest way to do it.
And I'll tell you, these guys know what they're doing. It is so clear to me. They have shipped a tort or two in their day.
Just a few.
The way it was so professionally packaged, kept both of our torts totally in great condition, kept them cool, come right to your door. You just pop them in the fridge or freezer. I mean, you will not regret ordering one of these things.
Yeah, we ordered one for trade night coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Should be here tomorrow.
Yes.
I agree. But my half a tort was excellently packaged and
yeah, they do a really good job. So,
Poppy, eBay, I can't tell you how happy your story made me. I cannot tell you how happy that made me.
well, good, because it was very sincere. I was leery at the time. I thought, okay, that's just kind of the throw in for my Riley Green cards, but it turned out to be the big hit.
Yep.
Delicious.
Yep. Literally everyone was talking about it. And Dan, I'll tell you, I cannot stress enough. Rick is not, Papa eBay is not an easy, he's not one to be nice and just say, hey, that's great. He'll tell you when your product stinks.
And we have a question here from the chat for Dan. Dan, what's the best tort?
Let me put it to you this way. 90% of the torts that we sell are the vanilla apricot, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's the traditional flavor. So that's the one people go with.
Yeah. When your person taking the order today, asked me which tort I wanted. I was like, "What do you mean which tort I want?" And I was like, "That tort."
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Should just rename it.
But the tort that Rick's raving about, Papa eBay's raving about, is the
that's
chocolate. So
that was
Chocolate raspberry. That's
Chocolate
right.
raspberry.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I honestly, I have heard from Tim and Chad that they really like the apricot as well.
Mhm.
I don't think you can go wrong, honestly, between either one.
Keep very well in the freezer. You can nibble away at it over time and still taste just as great.
Just like
As
Tim
when you
did in
opened it.
season 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's a third one that we don't ship because it can't handle that kind of travel. So you'll have to come to the bakery to get it. It's the hazelnut, which is incredible.
Live appearance in Omaha?
I think so.
Yeah, College World Series. And
College World Series is next week. So, it's next week, late next week. So yeah, get it.
We got to get moving.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we want
you
to
the payment
thank
info
Papa
tonight.
eBay and BT, Kansas City Dan. He's got his cards. Yeah.
All right.
I wish I had my camera on. I'd show. I've got mine right here, safely tucked away. Where, but I have one last thing before Tort Dan leaves. I've got one last one.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay, Satchel Paige.
Yes.
Was in his day was the fastest of them all. And with this update of the records where they, updated with the Negro leagues and they added, I don't know, a 90, 95, 100 wins to Satchel Paige's record. And before they did this update, Satchel Paige, he was so fast that he could flip off a light switch, get into bed before it got dark. And Ricky would try and duplicate that or Mr. eBay as a little kid. My question is since they updated his record with these additional 100 or so wins, do you think that he could flip off the switch, get into bed, and get back and flip the switch the other way before anybody knew that the lights had gone off?
Now, Papa eBay, I do have to correct you. They said that about Cool Papa Bell, not about Satchel Paige.
My dad's been lying to me my entire life.
Well, I don't know who that young man is, and so, but I'd always understood it to be Satchel Paige.
Cool Papa Bell is also in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I have one of his cut signatures, actually.
Oh.
And that's what they said about him. Do I think that Satchel Paige could do all that? Sure. Let's add to that. Let's add to that legend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm going to have Mr. eBay see if he can pull that off and duplicate it.
I hate you. So yeah, in second grade, it was Black History Month, and we had to all do a report about a famous Black person.
Uh-huh.
And Satchel Paige was either assigned to me or I chose him. Maybe it was a list, and I chose him because of sports. I don't see what.
According to Reddit, a Reddit user, Satchel Paige
there it is.
said James Cool Papa Bell was so fast that he could turn off the light and be under the covers before the room got.
Come on, Dad. So I get
Sourcing.
Satchel Paige, and I tell my dad, and I'm reading this like little book about him, and do a report. And he's like, yeah, he was famous for being able to turn off the lights and get into bed before the lights went off. And I'm embarrassed to tell you how many times I attempted to try this with just total failure.
I wish we had video.
I mean, I might have spent an hour and a half
That'd be
trying to do
classic.
this.
Oh my goodness. There has to be video of that somewhere, right?
Thank God it was back when you had to like plug your video camera into the wall, and it was a whole big
do the
thing.
little spinning.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, Tort Dan and Papa eBay, we are so grateful to have you guys on. Thank you very much for coming on and breaking down your trade.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you, Tort Dan. Bye, gentlemen.
This whip's going directly into the PC box. I appreciate it very, very much.
Very cool.
That stands for personal collection, Pop.
That's an important part of that. Yes.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys. Well, I don't know how we transition out of that.
Yeah.
Tim asked me.
Just do it the Tim way.
Tim asked me to officiate his wedding.
Oh,
These nuts. Got him. Got him.
I'm going to eat a cookie.
So now we're going to have the Holy Trinity for Tim's for Tim's wedding. You're going to have, I assume Chad's going to be in the line. And you'll have me up next to you.
Yeah, we got stood up by our first requested officiant, who I actually don't know anyway.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, who would I know that might actually be somewhat meaningful to me and also Randy?
Well, the fact that you guys asked me, like I told you, I'll just be serious for a minute and tell you I was honored. And I've never done it. Happy to do it. And we're going to do it well. I have a few questions for you.
You're not going to question him on why he said you might be somewhat meaningful to him? That should be your first question.
Why am I somewhat meaningful?
No, I meant that in a good way.
I know that.
Yeah. Chad has to take everything as a backhanded insult.
I'm gonna have to get
just repeating what you said.
Well, I'm gonna have to get ordained. I'm gonna be a man of the cloth for this.
The internet cloth.
I could probably help you with your Danny Ainge shrine over here.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know, do I get to wear robes?
You can do whatever you want as far as I'm concerned.
Can I bring out a Captain America shield?
I don't know that I would go with the theme, but that'd be amazing too. Maybe wasn't like Marvel What If, like wasn't Steve Rogers like a zombie? That
yes.
would fit.
Yeah. Can I come in zombie makeup?
Yeah.
Do we have a comment here?
We do.
What
Uh-oh.
we got?
My 3 card says I am also an officiant. In case you needed Ricky to be a flower girl instead.
Yes.
Oh, I would do that for you, my man. I would do that for you. But
we actually don't have a flower girl. This is going somewhere.
because your daughter will be in the line.
Yeah, exactly. She got swiped.
I'm available.
Can you do both?
I could spread some flowers on my way up.
See, I have a challenge for you.
Oh no,
Ricky, could you throw the flowers up in the air and finish completing the
Get
wedding?
them married before,
and then run back.
Yes,
and throw more flowers up in the air.
I think there's only one way to find out.
There would for sure be video. We are not hiring a videographer, but if you tried to do that, we would 100% pay $100 for a new videographer.
Yeah, I think your fiance might kill me though.
No, that'd be great. Just add to it. This is going to be such a non-traditional wedding. Right?
We do have people saying that they could be Ricky's backup in case he sharts himself.
Yeah, wear black robes. Just remember that. Black. Yeah.
Can we have an extra pair of slacks on hand?
Wait, Justin likes things black, so it's got to be black.
Okay. Do I have any freedom with what I get to say?
I believe so. There's no script for this.
You guys don't have like a planned script you want me to stick to?
No. This is going to go fantastically well. What's there not to like, Chad?
Okay.
Don't look at me.
I
don't look at me.
I thought I would get shut down.
This is between you two.
I'm deeper into the questions than I thought I'd get.
Oh, no.
And I'm here for it. I'm just here eating dessert, enjoying this first.
Where's the envelope? I'm going to push it. Can we record it for the show?
No, we need the live cast from my wedding. Just like pause.
Let me record it.
Yeah.
Ghost hunt.
I actually created a helmet for the ghost hunt that's a ski helmet, and it's got like this long extender out that has the GoPro that can either face my face and face you.
Dead serious. If you asked your fiance, you brought it home and said, I'm going to wear this.
Yeah, she wouldn't care.
Really?
Yeah. She's like,
he may have found the one.
People are thinking this is a horrible idea.
No, I mean, it's going to be brilliant or horrible. There's no in between.
Yeah. No, I'm a man of God.
I'm going to... no whatever.
I'm going to be requesting that I'm referred to as the Reverend after I become ordained.
Season 4.
The righteous Reverend Ricky.
Oh my goodness.
Triple R.
It does have a nice ring to it.
Oh, Chad, what have I done?
Are we doing the traditional? You can now kiss your wife.
I don't think she wants anything traditional about it. So
You can do your wife.
but yes. No, I mean
On the
that's part of
stage.
it. But yeah, so
As Tim was talking about at his bachelor party.
I now present to you, Mr. and Mrs. Tim. You may
Yeah.
now the bride.
right there. No, she would kill me for that. So
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're getting a little honesty here.
The YouTube account, though, would blow up.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be amazing.
Let's
yeah.
stick a camera somewhere.
You just got to learn how to blur things out. It's fine. So,
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might
It's
need.
like Borat.
I don't.
You put in like this massive black bar. I could have so much fun editing this.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it would not. I don't think we would offer it live. I think we would
that would be a mistake.
probably edit it. But if we get some microphones to pin on us, can we record it?
Sure.
People are saying that you should transition to the Reverend Ricky because people thought that you were mystery eBay.
I am
So you
a
got to
mys-
make sure you enunciate during this thing.
No, I that's on purpose. I am a mystery.
Huh. Uh-huh.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
It is. No, it
Is this
is
thing
good. It is. Yeah. No, I will be required to be referred to as Saint. Saint
No,
Ricky.
that's too far. Yeah. No.
That's too far.
Yeah. The nun.
His Holiness.
The whole. Ooh.
His Holiness.
Yeah. The as in the. Yeah.
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Well, we're not doing shtick. I will be probably officiating Tim's wedding. I did tell him if he found someone he liked better, he could ditch me and I would not be offended.
Oh.
But I will be happy to do it. My dad, Papa eBay's been an officiant a couple of times, so
Oh,
I'm
yes.
planning to seek some advice from
Yeah,
him.
There you go.
He's going to help set me up with getting ordained as well. You just go on a website.
I was asked to ordain to do a wedding.
Really? Did you do it?
No, a global pandemic broke out
Oh,
and the wedding didn't happen.
that will happen.
So,
Like they're not married at all.
no, they are. It just
They
took
are
a couple of years.
eloped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're talking about.
So as long as that doesn't happen to you, you'll be in good shape.
Okay. COVID 2024.
Do you want Chad and I to jointly do it?
No.
Don't bring me into this. And of course he doesn't.
I just didn't want you to waste all the time you put into officiating a wedding.
Chad's already got his role.
All right, fair
Yeah.
enough.
Step off.
Oh, you're old, jabroni.
Can we pull any pranks like women's underwear out of our pocket when Chad has
Oh
to give
my
you the
goodness.
ring?
That'd be great.
He's trying to be a good sport so bad.
No, I'm just trying to think. This would be great.
All
You're
right.
trying to rattle him. You can't rattle this man.
No, you really
No.
cannot. He's as cool as the other side of the pillow. All right. Well, we'll follow up on that as that develops.
Okay.
We'll give some updates.
Yeah, you can't spoil it all. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before we head out, we got some plans this Saturday
Yes.
for our local listeners.
Yes.
Sorry, Papa eBay is sending me messages. So Saturday at our local card shop, Overtime Cards, they have opened up their new location. Is it 106 South?
I think 104 South,
104 South. And
Somewhere.
State Street.
State Street, and
Sandy.
they're hosting a trade night
Mhm.
Saturday night. Do you know what time it is?
5 to 7 p.m.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And the three of us are going to be there.
Yeah.
Woo! Along with Torte Dan's Torte.
Yes.
You want to share what you told us about Torte Dan's shop? That they were taking you for all you were worth? Didn't you say that?
He's still trying to rattle you. You can't rattle Tim.
I
Tim,
believe the correct term is extortion.
thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, please come out if you're local. Come out to Overtime Cards.
Yeah.
Check out the new shop. It looks so awesome.
Oh, jeez.
It looks
It does.
night and day better
Yeah.
than we've ever known
I
Overtime.
haven't
Oh,
like
I know.
analyzed the photos much, but it looks very spacious. Very
Yes,
not that the old one was dirty, but very clean.
Yes.
it does. It's sleek,
Yes.
if you will.
Yeah, I will.
And yeah, it does. I agree. It looks totally spacious. They've got tables where you can go open cards and do breaks and stuff.
Yeah. It's like a
Um,
UFC themed color theme, I believe.
Yeah.
Like minus.
So that'll
Now
be
I
my
think about it.
my first time at the new shop. Probably both of yours as well.
Yeah, unless they have some mega deal going on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then yeah, it'll be my first time.
So come on out and trade with us.
Are you guys going to take
chat
cards
us
to
up.
trade?
Sure.
What are you going to take? Like, you got to put thought into this, man.
I've got a sick Kansas City Royals Lorenzo Cain 101.
Tim, you bringing anything to trade?
I don't think there's a market or demand for Luis Robert anymore.
You don't know, man. You never know. You never know.
Should I just send all of his stuff off for consignment and just be like, I'm okay with the $20 I get back?
What are you going to do with the money?
Get on the toilet. For 10
Could
seconds.
parlay that.
Then no, you shouldn't.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, no, I do have a number of cards. I'll have to go through it tomorrow that I think are pretty cool that I'd be willing to part with. So I'll definitely be bringing a case.
Ricky Green.
Some Ricky Greens for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, come out and say hello to us. Hang out with us. Come chat us up. Because we don't know who you are necessarily, but you may know who we are. So come find us.
Yeah, that's always the hard part.
Right. We don't. It got really awkward when we used to send Tim around the card shop just asking random people, "Hey, do you listen to our show?"
Yeah. So many no's.
So
There were so
Shout out to Larry. I don't know if he still listens, but he listened.
Oh yeah. No, we had a few listeners from the card
We
shop.
had someone at the National who, like, well after the first National I went to, like, wrote us kind of this nasty message how I blew him off at the National. And I'm like, I'd never met this person before. I had no idea what he looked like. He didn't tell me that I was meeting up with him.
Yeah.
He kind of went AWOL last year in our fantasy football league.
Yeah.
And so there were some signs there. But yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
And like, so we're just dudes. Like, we're just dudes eating cookies on a
And if we thought that
basement.
if we knew you were a listener, trust me, we would go attack you, like in a good way, like put our arm around you, start chatting you up. You wouldn't be able to get rid of us. So it's not a situation where we're like trying to avoid anyone. We just don't know who is listening to this little ship and who isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So come say hi, introduce yourself. We'd love to meet you all.
Dan told me to ring it.
Your bell ringer was subpar this week.
We'll pick it back up next week.
Yeah.
I got this chat that's blown up. I love this thing. We have so many messages in here.
Dude, I'm watching it over here. I've never seen so many chats.
My fingers can only go so fast.
It's
there, bitch.
It's better.
All right. Well, it's been another fun show for Chad.
Sorry, that got aggressive.
And Tim.
I love you.
This is the Righteous Reverend Torte Dan, wishing all of you a wonderful night.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys still coming over on Thursday.
Of course.
Thanks for having us on your wedding anniversary. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even be here.
14 years, believe it or not.
Nice.
How about that?
That's amazing. Good
That's a
for
lot
you
of time.
guys.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty damn good. Feels like yesterday. I still remember it like it was yesterday.
It was a good time.
It was a great time.
And also, we actually got married at the same place Tim's getting married.
Huh?
You did.
True
Yeah,
statement.
You
Yeah.
did.
But
Coming
even
full
after
circle.
all those years, you guys were asking like, oh, hey, is it still okay if we record the show today? And I was like, oh yeah, it's fine. Because afterwards, this is like one night a year I'll stay up late. Because the key is you just got to go up and do. That's what we're going to do after.
Oh my God.